Alright, so welcome back guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision Hero Bar Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm giving you guys my review for Power Rangers Dino Fury Episode 8, Unexpected Guest. Now if Power Rangers something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon to don't miss any more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So we have officially met and are at the mid-season finale for Power Rangers Dino Fury, which is great because we got an amazing episode, but sucks because we now have to wait several months until I think it's like late August, early September when PR returns on Nickelodeon, which sucks. They've been doing this hiatus every year since Samurai, so it really sucks, but we do have a great episode here. Now, one of the top things that it began off with is Mick returns from Ninja Steel. Automatically that makes the episode even better, just because Kelson Henderson is a great actor. He has a good charm to him, and pretty much he can always bring a solid performance and just shines throughout anything he's been a part of. So we got his character return. Now we also have Void Knight, who has this master plan. Now I really liked how they put together this plan, and it began when the episode started with the Rangers fighting, I think it's Doomsnake in the Megazord. But then you got Void Knight, who has this other monster, Wolfgang, and he has this power or whatever that I guess when he howls, he shoots some kind of beam at stuff, and it kind of cause it to malfunction. We saw that with the Megazord, and we see that later during a fight when Izzy and Amelia try to use the boost keys to fight him. He can, I guess, cause technology to malfunction or whatever, which is a pretty cool power, and I guess Void Knight uses that as a way to try to defeat the Rangers. A great thing that happens. And then, like I said, you got the Rangers who are forced to evacuate the Zord, and that's when they run into Mick after the fact, which is really cool. Now, you got kind of similar, your generic storytelling, Amelia and Javi go to their job at Buzz Blast, and you get some kind of comedy bits there with Jane and Jay Borg, the typical slapstick stuff. And yeah, it sucked, but at the same time, like I said before, I'm kind of giving the slapstick a little bit of a pass now, because they're, blending different kinds of comedy. Like I said before, some people like slapstick, some people like that dialogue comedy, and to me, I feel like they're covering all their bases, so doing that, I'm like okay with it. Yeah, do I not like it? Sure, but at the same time, I think it still is okay for me. But then you got Mick, who is brought in. He disguises himself as a package, and he tries to use the Buzz Blast computers. However, he is stopped by Jayborg, who informs him that only employees are allowed to use the computers there, which is very interesting. And then you got her, who's about to kick him out, and then he transforms into a basketball and ends up flying out of the business out into the plaza outside of the Buzz Blast, and that's when you got Wolfgang, who shows up again. Now, earlier in the episode, you had Mick, who announced that he was tracking the Nexus Prism. He believes it's come to Earth on a new mission, and he's trying to track it. And earlier in the episode, you had Void Knight and Mucus and Wolfgang hearing about this, so they want to capture Mick in order to get to the Nexus Prism. Now, this was a very good thing, and you got the Wolfgang who tries to capture Mick. However, he uses, of course, his shape-shifting powers and turns into a car. Now, there's a lot of people who didn't really like that he turned into a car. To me, I just, chalk it up to they would probably have to use CGI with anything else. It's easier to just get a remote control car, and that's just how I see it. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I know people didn't really like that, but I'm fine with how they, improvise that. Now you got the Rangers who fight. Wolfgang, and like I said, you got him who's able to disarm Amelia and Izzy. And at the end of the day, they have to save Mick and teleport him back to base. Now, once they're back at the base, you got Mick, who informs them that he has been keeping this Ranger database of all these different Rangers that he's met over the past I guess 3 years, I guess. Now, this is very interesting. Now, there has been recent rumors about possibly having Rangers from past seasons return. I'm gonna do a whole other video about that in a couple weeks or so. And but I want to just mention that because I do believe that they probably put that there, as to hint at it. I feel like there's no reason why they just put that in there if it wasn't gonna, pay off later on. So you got him who, informs them at the Nexus Prism, and him and Solon worked with their technologies to combine and locate the prism, which the Rangers go to locate. Now, meanwhile, you got Mick who, tries to form this way to stop, Wolfgang's powers. Now, the Rangers head to the docks because I guess it stopped at the dock at, within the city. And you got Zato who uses his power to read minds to try to figure out information on the prism. Because as we all know, the prism is like this sentient being, while it's a an object still has like a personality. Now, one thing I really liked here is they brought back Zato's power of reading minds, because I feel like, they had that in the premiere and it just kind of fell to the wayside. So I really like how they brought that up here. I've seen people talk about how he hasn't really used his power since then. So I'm glad they brought it up here. And I feel like it's not always necessary to use that power, because I've seen people complain about that. But I feel like you need to do that when the situation, needs it. You don't have to use it all the time. But once he touches the prism, this is where we get some awesome information in regards to the prism and past seasons. Now, once he touches the prism, he learns that the Nexus Prism was created by the Morphin Masters, and that along with the Nexus Prism, they also created the Energems and the Dino Gems, and they were all sent out into the universe to help, combat evil. And you get flashbacks later on of the Ninja Steel Rangers and the Beast Morphers Rangers and the current Dino Fury Rangers, and Zato says that the Morphing Masters have been keeping tabs on the Rangers, or at least at some point they've been keeping tabs and watching over the Rangers for the past few years, which is really awesome. I really like that. This is a really great thing, and I feel like they're really using the Morphing Masters great this season. I feel like they're going back and kind of tying up loose ends that we've had throughout the series, and just kind of connecting the dots there, and just filling in gaps. So I really like that. However, once they are done reading the minds, you got Boom Tower and Wolfgang who show up. Now, the Nexus Prism then dives down into the ocean and disappears as our Rangers fight Boom Tower and Wolfgang. You got your pretty much generic fight. Wolfgang tries to bury them under this cliff using his powers. However, at the end of the day, he ends up growing big along with Boom Tower, and they call upon their Zords. Now, this is one of the biggest issues I have with the episode. First off, I really like how they called each individual Zord and they appeared that way. That was really cool. I really like that. But my biggest issue with this episode is they introduced a new megazord formation, and they did it twice. They did it in the beginning with, I think it was the Tricera Blade Zord. I feel like they did that there, along with later on here they introduced the warrior mode of the Megazord. Now, one of the biggest issues I have here is with each of the previous episodes, they gained they were always, introduced in as a way of, bringing in hype and introducing each ranger in such a way. Here there was no build up, so it just feels like it came out of the blue, so I didn't really like that. But you got your Megazord fight. Now, this is another weird thing, because you got the Rangers who mainly just fight Boom Tower, which is strange, because you had Wolfgang who also grew big, and in the middle of the fight, you got Wolfgang who tries to attack them, but ends up being, I guess, stabbed in by one of their blades or something of the Zord, and ends up being destroyed and returning to his usual Sporex form, which you got Mucus who captures it. Now, on one hand, I did kind of like this because you never really see a monster accidentally get itself killed, so I like that. But at the other time, I would have liked to seen it battle the Megazord a little bit more. I don't know if this had to do with Sentai footage, but it was interesting to some effect. But I also feel like it was kind of a missed opportunity. But then you got Boom Tower, who still fights the Megazord. You got your usual Megazord fight, and then they end up destroying Boom Tower, which I was actually very shocked at. Again, this might come down to Sentai footage, but I thought Boom Tower would at least last a few more episodes, maybe halfway for the second half. I was very shocked to see that he didn't make it out of out of the mid-season finale. So that was something I was surprised about. But this time we got Izzy, who captures the Sporax that he had used to power himself, and they instead of mucus now, as they're regrouping after the Megazord fight, you see the Nexus Prism exit the water and then fly out and back into space. Now, there's a lot of theories, and I gotta agree with most of these theories, is that the Nexus Prism has something to do with the Gold Ranger, who will be showing up in the second half. If you don't know, the Gold Ranger's Zord has to do with the Mosasaurus, which is an aquatic dinosaur. So I'm assuming since he went underwater, that he has something to do with either activating or something to do with the Gold Ranger and his Zord. I honestly don't really know, but that's just my prediction as of right now. Is it has to do with the Gold Ranger. But as I said, they regroup and, yeah, they head back to base and Mick says goodbye and all, your generic kind of ending. But that wasn't really the true, that was just the main ending. But meanwhile, you had Void Knight, who returned to Area 62, and he brings back Wolfgang Sporex. He tries to put in his little machine, but it doesn't have enough power. So he gets frustrated and goes into the back room that we had seen a few times in the previous episodes. Now, this is where we got an extremely amazing and cool reveal in regards to the fact that it's revealed that Void Knight has, I guess, a lover or someone he cares about in this cryopod healing tank, which is really cool. It's some kind of woman humanoid woman with these tubes going in and out of her. So it was really cool, and it's revealed that he's actually using these Sporex to try, I guess, and repower her or bring her back to life or something along those lines, which I really love. He actually has a reason why he's doing what he's doing, and it kind of humanizes Void Knight in a way. He actually is doing this for, in some ways, pure reasons for himself. He sees these as being pure, and he's actually wanting to save someone. So this is something I love. I don't think we've ever seen a villain in PR that is actually doing something that was humanize them in this kind of way, where they're actually their actions that are evil are actually doing them just to help someone they care about. I'm pretty sure we've never seen that before. I think it's usually been the generic, I want to take over the world, I want this object, I want humans to bow before me. I don't think we've ever seen this kind of thing on PR before. So I really liked how they incorporated that into this season. It is really cool. I love it, and I can't wait to see how it'll eventually pay off in the second half. It already is amazing. Again, this was a great episode. I mean, I feel like there were definitely down points, but at the same time, I think this is a really solid episode, and I might even be apt to give it a 5 out of 5. I definitely think it qualifies for a 4.5 or even 5 out of 5. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a very strong season finale. You get some great origin stuff in regards to the Nexus Prism, the Inner Gems, and the Dino Gems. You got a possible good tease at the introduction of the Gold Ranger. You had Mick returning, which is a great thing. You got Void Knight's overall plan that was executed very well throughout the episode, and a huge reveal regarding Void Knight at the end of the episode. So I thought this was a really great and strong mid-season finale. That's just one thing I feel like sometimes these mid-season finales can feel weak and just meh. But I do feel like this was an improvement. It definitely had a bit of a meh sense to it, but I feel like there are so many good positives that it actually helps out the episode and makes it better. So I definitely think it's a strong mid-season finale. And like I said, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. And I'm just so excited for the season to come back later this year. But I want to know your thoughts and opinions about the episode. So let me know all your thoughts and opinions about it in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, that's my review for Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 8, Unexpected Guests. Now, if Power Rangers something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. Then I miss some more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. And you can go for me on Instagram and Twitter, which is linked in the back section of my YouTube channel. As always, I've been Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.